This is for our persuasive speech. We all drive down 35 and I-10 and 37, whether it's south or north. And one thing everybody has in common is you can turn to your left and turn to your right, and you will obviously see somebody with their phone. And so my speech is, did I touch it? Is the importance of not using handheld devices while operating a motor vehicle. Technology is great, but it's also deadly. I chose to speak about this one. I have been in close calls, and I have actually been behind the vehicle that got T-boned off of 410 and 37. So you see the top one is the percentage of Texas students, and that's actual data. This is collected from the Texas Health Data, which is the Texas Department of State Health Services. And the reason it says 2013 to 2017 is because that's the last time it was verified. And as you can see, it went down a bit, but mostly it's higher in 12th graders, and it increases and it starts at 9th grade. And this last one is the survey, and this one is in the National Institute of Health. And this was 228 students who were actually participated, and they were for ages of 15 through 24. 59.2% actually admitted to using their phones while they were driving. They were messaging. And the next one is 71.5% admitted to reading text messages at various speeds. The highest one recorded was going 75, and they were actually replying to an email. This one is 74.6% GPS on their phones. And it also included, it had it in parentheses, it also included the GPS that you mount on your dashboard. So that's where that information comes to. And we all see the 36.3% when they're texting at a red light. And that is constantly. This next one is, this is the percentage of using handheld devices based on gender, males and females. And this one was just recently done in 2017. Females have the highest rate and percentage in crashes that have to do with not just texting while driving, but calling, emailing. As females, and it's kind of hard to say, we're bad drivers when it comes to having the phone in our hands, and it's really hard. The next one is the number of motor vehicle deaths in Bexar County. This is actual Bexar County information from the Texas Department of State Health Services. And as you can see from the previous information that I gave you, ages 15 through 24 do have highest, but college students are also included in the high school students who text and talk and email while they're driving. So that gives us the ages 25 to 34. And the only reason you see a high rate jump up from 35 to 44 and 45 to 54 is the older people now having, the big phone, the big jitterbug flip phone. Old people are in, I include myself, we're getting into where we're using cell phones. And that's not a very good combination because most of us have either Alzheimer's, we're forgetful, and we lose concentration. So that's where that high rate comes up. I include myself, I'm old. This is information from the National Safety Council, and we've all seen these. This one is one because they've set this one out because April, right now this month, is actually Distracted Driving Awareness Month. And it's not just aimed at teens, it's just every driver. And here they put thousands die every year. They would prefer you do this one even though it's gross. You text, call, send your emails. It's better to do it than sitting on the toilet than doing it while you're driving. It is gross. And again, this one is females. This one came off of the National Highway Traffic Safety Association. This one also, their survey also showed that females are more likely to be in a motor vehicle accident compared to males. This is the National Highway Traffic Safety Association campaign. They have the You Drive, You Text, You Pay. And one tip they do say is they provide is what you can do to prevent tragedies, and that's simply just put your phone away or put it on silent. And basically also be a good role model if you have young drivers, which are your children, your peers, and whatnot. And if your driver is your driver is on their phone, you should speak up and let them know to put it away, because you don't want to put yourself at a safety risk because they need to be on their phone. Offer to make the call for them, send the text for them, which is a better situation than rather be in a hospital. And always wear your seatbelts. They are the best defense for unsafe drivers. It's not up here, but I'm going to tell you. 86% of high school accidents that happen, according to the Texas Health data stats, is most of them were not wearing their seatbelts. They seatbelt behind them because you know how your vehicle is, if you don't, it goes ding, 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 and it annoys you after you've hit like 10 miles per hour. They do not fasten their seatbelts. They'd rather fasten it and sit in front of it. So the best defense is use your seatbelt. The best way to solve this is through community awareness safety fairs. I don't know if you guys have ever been to one. I have been to one in San Marcos because they have one once a year at the Texas State University to let the college students know about the importance of texting and calling and emailing while driving. And that's where this comes in. And this part right here, inform parents of teen drivers the importance of having a family contract with rules and restrictions. If you go to the National Safety Council website, which is nsc.org, you will be able to pull up a contract and actually fill it in there. You go to the bottom where it says drive at home, you enter your child's name, enter your name, and your child has to go through each section, which would be a video that shows them safe driving tips, gives them guides, and consequences that you can apply to your children. And at the end, it'll come up with their names, and as soon as you print it out, it will have their name, your name, the date, and when the next time you would reassess the information again and bring it up again. So like to go over it. NETS program, National Employer Traffic Safety program for employers, not just employers, but employees and their families in the community. And what it does, it gives them tips on how to train their drivers, driving, like keeping them away from using the phone and texting and checking their laptops when they need to, and helps reduce employers the cost on financial insurance liabilities. And it also helps them, if you look at the stats here, it says 20% of a fleet is involved in a crash annually. And we live in San Antonio, we all know that off of 35 you see 18-wheelers with either a car stuck behind it or a car stuck next to it and you're stuck against the side rail. This is within employers being enrolled in this program, this is how much they would only pay for property damage only, like just, minor fender bender, which would be $6,000. This is what they would spend $670,000 on a vehicle crash involving one of their a company driver with a regular civilian. And at that, it saves them a whole lot of money. It's kind of weird to say that we're trying to help employers save money, but that's not the issue. We're trying to help employers train their drivers to keep them from wasting money. And this is, like I said, technology is distracting people while driving, it's killing people. We've all seen this. Have y'all all seen this one? This one is when you get on anything, you type in traffic safety and you're going to come up with this one. Every 5 seconds, a crash occurs. Every 10 seconds, an injury occurs. Every 12 minutes, someone dies in a motor vehicle crash. Now, the only thing we should all do is put the phone away and focus on the road, and don't let your last text or call be the last thing you do. We've all seen that. Have y'all all seen that commercial where the cop picks up the kid's phone off the ground after she's had an accident, and the last thing that she texted was SMH with an emoji? Have y'all not seen that one? That's where this comes from. Don't let your last text be the last thing you do. And then these are all my references of where I got them. Texas Health data.